Hey, hello again. Um, this video is actually an add-on from the previous video, where I discussed this 6 knight d3 move in the 1 f4 opening 3 for my custom chess position, what's your decision? So if you haven't seen the previous video, please watch it. But in the previous video, we looked at knight d3 lines, whereas previously in other videos we had looked at e takes d4. So after knight d3, we discussed that the only move for black is bishop c6. And then we kind of showed the theory, which is e takes d4, bishop takes f3, bishop takes f3, c takes d4, and then bishop takes b7. And we discussed these lines. What I didn't realize actually is that white doesn't have to go for bishop b7. There's another line I want to show you, which is where white immediately goes for the freeing of their queen with the move bishop takes d4. So yeah, this video will just be to discuss this one move that I missed in the last video. So it'll be fairly brief. It'll be a fairly brief video. So after bishop takes d4, knight takes d4, and knight takes b4, white is basically looking to sacrifice on c3 by using the knight to go to f2 and d3. So after knight takes b4, black takes back, and after knight f2, white is looking to go to d3, check the king, make it move, and then free the queen. So as you can see in this opening position, it's a very direct method for white to kind of just go for freeing their queen. So in this position, it's worth noting that knight b5 as a defense doesn't work, because after knight d3 check, the king has one legal move, and after b4 check and king a4, bishop d5 is basically unstoppable checkmate, because white is looking to come to b3. So yeah, that just shows how the game can end very quickly in this line where white is trying to go for the direct freeing of the queen. So after knight f2, what black plays is there's still the threat of bishop takes b7, so black just takes on f3, white recaptures, and now we're in a position where black cannot stop knight d3 check, and so white's queen is going to come out. And what's worth noting though is that in this position, if we go back to the moves, there's something important, which is in this direct method of trying to free the queen. Let's count how many pieces are being sacrificed. Well, firstly, the rook was sacrificed with bishop takes, so the exchange was sacrificed with bishop takes f3, so we sacrifice an exchange. Then in the bishop takes d4 line, we're now sacrificing a bishop, then we're sacrificing a knight. So we've sacrificed an exchange, a bishop, and a knight, and then in the main, and then in this line over here, the main move here is c5, and after knight d3 check, we're freeing our queen, but we've sacrificed several pieces to do so, which is why white isn't just winning after this variation. But this is definitely a very much playable position for white. So after queen takes c3, bishop d6, like several moves can be played over here. For example, rook c d8 is also a decently good move, and after knight d3 check, c5, an example line is queen c4 check, knight b4, and the game basically can continue from here. So this is definitely a very playable line for both sides. Well, it looks like the computer wants white to sacrifice the knight with c3, which is interesting. Let's see what happens if black takes. I think black is getting checkmated, maybe? I don't know. I think after takes, bishop takes f5 check. Oh, there's a mate in 3. Yeah, but yeah, this is a line that could be played. Another line that can be played is this bishop d6 move after knight e5, for example. Bishop takes e5, queen takes e5, king c6, queen takes f5. This is just an example line because the position is from when white frees the queen. Several things can happen, but especially black here has to be careful. So here black just moved the king out of the way and played knight c7 to develop, and this is where we kind of left off. Engine here likes white a little bit better, but I think that anything can happen in a position like this just because white has kind of sacrificed a bit more material than is ideal to free their queens. Even though their queen is out, there's still fighting chances on both sides. Like if we look at the pieces over here, white has a queen, a rook, and a bishop against two rooks and a knight. So basically they're up a queen for a rook in terms of the pieces over here, which is probably not enough given that white has extra pawns. So sorry, black has extra pawns. So if I were to count black's material, it's 5, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And I don't count the material that's locked up. And for white, I don't count all these pawns that are kind of locked up. So 5, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And if we count white, white's material, it's 9, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it's a very similar. So if white is up like 1 point of material, the evaluation's around +1 over here. But I think both sides can be very, very good. And in this other variation, you can see like several things can be played. And over here, yeah, I mean, knight c7, king c8. We kind of have ourselves a position over here. Is all I'm saying, with chances for both sides. So that's yet another thing that white has in this position, is that they can just they don't need to worry about taking on b7 and playing the complicated line. If they want to, they can just go directly, and they're guaranteed to just, because in the other line, in the bishop takes b7 line from the last video, both white and black's queens are freed. But if you want to go for it directly, white can get a position where only their queen is freed. However, they had to sacrifice 2 extra pieces, the bishop and the knight, in order to do it, which is sort of the trade-off. So yeah, just the more we look into this position, the more interesting lines that they are. So that's even another line that white has in this position. Though personally, I mean, based on preference, I think all these lines are fine. I think that I slightly prefer the bishop takes b7 line, but both seem very good. And yep, just one more line, and that's kind of all I wanted to show. So hope you enjoyed the video, and